Welcome to Echoes of the Lost audiobook, where forgotten stories come to life. Dive into worlds of mystery, survival, and the unknown. If you enjoy our stories, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with our latest audiobooks. Chap 78, Cold Vapor and Green Pulse. Ryder knelt in the cold stone cave beneath the gas forge, his right hand setting the new spear on the jagged stone floor, his eyes sweeping the colossal cold stone monster's corpse from Chap 77, nearly 13 meters tall, four pillar-like legs collapsed, transparent blue-glowing stone shell now still, black blood dried on rock, blue vapor from its head fading into thin mist, black eyes extinguished. Golden fire from stone fish oil flickered weakly, golden light blending with green water grass glow, illuminating the cave. Black thorn mushroom smoke thinned, leaving sweet vine sap sent from their wrapped arms, fishy fish oil, cool water grass, and icy vapor from silver twigs near their chests. A new sound arose, a faint hiss, like escaping vapor, emanating from the stone crack deep in the cave, where the monster's blue vapor once vented. Near the crack, a new plant appeared, icy green roots, piercing through cold stone, tiny tendrils hard as metal, glowing deep green when touched, a frigid metallic ice scent rising. Stone fish swam slowly in the nearby red flow, white ice beetles scattered across the floor, white spiders wove thin webs around green roots, water grass grew interspersed. Stone shards fell lightly from the ceiling, rolling echoes from the crack grew stronger post-battle, like the deep cave of the gas forge stirring. Lena sat beside him, her left hand tightening the vine around her shoulder, her weary but sharp eyes watching, her right hand resting her old crude spear, breathing slowly. Torin sat by the wall, supporting Mira, the young girl inhaling deeply, her pale face showing curiosity at the green roots, her hand holding water grass to light more. Kalia knelt near the corpse, her heavy mace set down, her gaze fixed on the green roots and ice beetles, her left hand picking a root scrap, checking its green glow. The deep cave beneath the gas forge was a frigid ecosystem, green roots, water grass, stone fish, ice beetles, vines, silver twigs offering new survival chances, if harnessed right. He pulled the Seraphim device from his bag, its red light blinking steadily, the small screen showing a curt message, Archive, Ryder, Green Pulse is data. Use cold vapor to cross dead stone, or be swallowed by it, the trial demands exploitation. The words echoed in his mind, cold and clear, suggesting this deep cave, with green roots and cold vapor, was a new test, forcing them to exploit life to proceed. He opened his notebook, its pages damp, his fingers brushing the rough surface as he wrote slowly, Day 63 North, below gas forge. Archive Phase 4, Deep Cave, Green Roots, Cold Vapor. He paused, his dark brown eyes narrowing in the green glow, listening to the hiss, like vapor escaping through stone, mixed with rolling stone and deep green root glow when touched. Green pulse is data, he muttered, his low, hoarse voice blending with the hiss, they want us to live from this cold vapor. He inhaled the frigid air deeply, analyzing, green roots lit and hardened, cold vapor might freeze, stone fish burned, ice beetles cracked, vines warmed, silver twigs cooled, a potent ecosystem in the gas forge. Lena turned to him, her left hand touching a green root on the stone, hard, cold, deep green light flaring under her fingers, metallic ice scent rising. You hear that? She asked, her voice rough, standing slowly, her spear aimed at the crack where hissing came from. This vapor, usable? These roots, weapons? She took a frigid breath, frowning as the root's chill stung her nose, her gaze sweeping the roots and crack, seeking more signs to exploit. Ryder nodded, crouching by the green roots, his right hand setting the spear down, his left picking a scrap, hard, cold, deep green light glowing when squeezed, unyielding. Green roots, light, hard as steel, he said, his voice low but certain, grabbing an ice beetle from the floor. White frost oozed when squeezed. He dipped the root in frost, struck 2 metal bits, sparks flew, frost hardened on the root, green light intensifying, like boosting durability. Cold vapor can freeze, roots boost light. He scribbled fast in his notebook, green roots light plus hard, ice beetles freeze, weapon plus guide. He turned to the group, his voice clear, deep cave gives us, green roots for weapons, ice beetles to freeze, stone fish to burn, water grass to light, vines to warm. Rest, craft, hear the rolling. Torin sat Mira down, his cloudy eyes flickering with surprise at the deep green light from nearby roots. These roots, hard? He asked, his voice slow, his arm tight around Mira, as if wanting her to analyze more. Mira took a frigid breath, the cold air sharpening her, her eyes brightening as she touched a green root, hard, cold, deep green light flared. Roots, like cold spears, she whispered, her voice faint but keen, picking an ice beetle, dipping its white frost in a root, green light flared brighter, the root hardening as it froze. Frost makes it strong. Kalia stood, her heavy mace aside, her gaze sweeping the crack. Green roots grew thick near the crack, ice beetles crawled sparsely, water grass mingled. Roots, unlike grass, she said, her voice soft but sharp, crouching to pick a green root scrap, squeezing, deep green light flashed, unbreaking. Hard, can smash. She frowned, turning to Ryder, her eyes curious but trusting, gathering more roots and ice beetles, ready to craft. Ryder nodded, taking Kalia's root, squeezing hard, green light deepened, he dipped it in fish oil, ignited, golden fire flared, the root unburned but tougher, then dipped in beetle frost, root froze, glowing brilliantly. Green roots, weapons, light long, he said, his voice low, analyzing fast, green roots made sturdy spears, ice beetles enhanced durability, stone fish fueled fire, water grass guided, vines warmed, enough to rest and craft. Use roots to strike, beetles to freeze, live from this. He wrote slowly in his notebook, green roots weapon plus light, beetles freeze, fish burn, craft for deep cave. He turned to the group, his voice taut, green pulse is strength, craft roots, burn fish, be ready to move. Rolling stronger. The Seraphim device buzzed hard, its red light flashing faster, and the cold, deep voice crackled through, Ryder, green pulse is new data. Cold vapor gives life, dead stone takes it, trial doesn't stop. The voice cut off, but the hissing from the crack sharpened, joined by louder rolling stone, like something approaching from the gas forge's deep cave. Ryder froze, his eyes widening, his chest tightening at the human tone. The Seraphim used cold vapor and life to test exploitation, forcing them to live by green pulse. He wrote quickly, his hands shaky, human voice, green roots plus freeze, roll plus hiss, new trial. He turned to the group, his voice firm, deep cave pushes us, use roots, craft weapons, be ready to fight. Rest, then go. Lena grabbed a green root, squeezing beetle frost onto her spear, deep green light flared, she wrapped more vine around her shoulder to warm. Roots, our weapons, she said, her voice low, inhaling green root chill, her gaze fierce despite fatigue, ready to press on. Torin sat Mira near green roots, his voice trembling, green pulse, what is it? Mira looked up, her weary eyes sharp, picking green roots and ice beetles, squeezing frost, deep green light shone clearer. Roots, guide us, she whispered, her voice faint but steadfast, sharing roots with the group. Kalia pulled webbing, wrapping her mace, dipping a green root in beetle frost, deep green light flashed, the mace hardening. Rolling, near, she said, her voice soft, gripping her mace, her gaze on the crack, poised for the monster. Ryder wrapped vines around his arm, squeezed green roots with beetle frost, deep green and golden fish fire lighting the cave, the hiss blended with rolling stone, a shadow loomed, slow but heavy. "Prepare," he said, his voice low, the group closing ranks, green pulse in cold vapor their strength against the gas forge. Chap 79, Blood Glow and Steel Shadow. Ryder stood in the cold stone cave beneath the gas forge, his right hand gripping the new spear, his eyes locked on the massive shadow deep in the stone crack, over 13 meters tall, a living machine-like form, clad in gleaming gray steel, 6 long blade-like legs, a round head with narrow slits leaking silver liquid, blazing red eyes cutting through the green glow of luminous mushrooms on the walls. Golden fire from flame fish oil, formerly stone fish, flared on the stone floor, golden light weaving with the deep green of ice pulse roots from Chap 78, dimly illuminating the beast. It screeched, a sharp metallic grind echoing, trembling the floor hard, stone shards falling like icy rain. The air was damp and biting, carrying the sweet tang of blood vines, warm tendrils wrapped around their arms, fishy flame fish oil, frigid ice pulse roots, and cool vapor from frost twigs, silver twigs, near their chests. The screech drowned the drip of the blood glow stream, new name for the red flow, while white spiders wove thin webs on the walls, frost beetles, ice beetles, scuttled near the crack, and a new creature emerged, steel wings, small metallic insects with thin steel-like wings, buzzing near the monster, leaking silver oil on impact, a burnt metal scent rising. Lena stood beside him, her left hand tightening the blood vine around her shoulder, her razor-sharp eyes targeting the monster's legs, long but joints exposed in golden light, her right hand gripping her old crude spear, her breaths tense. Torin knelt near the wall, supporting Mira, the young girl squeezing ice pulse roots, deep green flared, igniting more flame fish oil, golden fire rising, her weary eyes resolute. Kalia stood to Ryder's right, her heavy mace raised, her gaze fixed on the monster's head, silver liquid leaking steadily, her hand tightening on the haft, ready to strike. The deep cave beneath the gas forge was a battlefield of light, golden flame fish fire, green ice pulse glow, smoke from black thorn spores, thorn mushrooms, warm blood vines, cool frost twigs, steel wings their weapons against the steel beast from the seraphim. He pulled the seraphim device from his bag, its red light blinking on the cold metal surface, the small screen flashing a curt message, "Archive, Ryder, steel shadow is data. Break dead steel with living pulse, or be torn by it, the trial spares none." The words rang in his mind, cold and cutting, confirming the steel-clad, silver-leaking monster was the next test, demanding they use life and fire to prevail. He opened his notebook, his fingers brushing the damp pages, writing slowly, Day 64 North, below gas forge. Archive Phase 4, Steel Monster, Flame Fish plus Steel Wings to fight? He paused, his dark brown eyes narrowing through green light, observing, taller than before, steel shell tough but slits exposed, red eyes light-sensitive, silver liquid possibly flammable or corrosive. "Steel shadow is data," he whispered, his low, hoarse voice blending with the screech, "they want us to break it with living pulse." He inhaled the cold air through smoke, analyzing, flame fish fire burned strong, ice pulse roots exposed, blackthorn smoke blinded, blood vines bound, frost twigs cooled, steel wings might burn or crack. Lena turned to him, her left hand tossing a flame fish scrap into the fire, golden oil surged, light blazing, her eyes flashing resolve. "You see it?" she asked, her voice rough, crouching, her spear aimed at a leg joint through golden light. "It leaks silver, joints exposed, can we stab them?" She took a smoky cold breath, frowning as burnt metal scent from steel wings drifted by, her gaze locked on the red eyes, her hand gripping her spear, poised to charge. Ryder nodded, standing tall, his right hand gripping the new spear, his eyes sweeping the monster. It advanced, each step trembling the floor, silver liquid dripping from its head, but golden fire made its red eyes flicker fast, irritated. "Flame fish fire slows it," he said, his voice low but firm, analyzing fast. The wide cave was slick, ice pulse light revealed joints, flame fish fire burned shell, steel wings cracked. "Target joints and head, use steel wings to help." He scribbled fast in his notebook, "Monster 13M+, silver liquid, golden fire irritates, steel wings plus smoke to break." He turned to the group, his voice clear, coordinate, flame fish fire burns, roots light, steel wings crack, blood vines bind. "Mira, keep fire, Kalia, head, Lena, legs, I'll hit eyes." Torin pressed Mira against the wall, his cloudy eyes flickering with fear as the monster screeched again, the floor shaking hard, silver liquid splashing from slits. "Steel like this, can we hold?" he asked, his voice shaky, his hand tight on Mira's shoulder. Mira took a smoky breath, squeezing ice pulse roots hard, deep green blazed, igniting more flame fish oil, golden fire rising, overpowering the monster's red eyes. "Golden fire, burns it," she whispered, her voice faint but keen, picking a steel wing, squeezing, silver oil oozed, burnt metal scent rising, lightly cracking nearby stone. "Steel wings, break shell." Kalia lunged, her heavy mace raised, her eyes locked on the monster's head, silver liquid leaking steadily in black smoke. "Head first," she said, her voice soft but sharp, yanking a blood vine from the wall, wrapping it around her mace, dipping steel wing oil, swinging hard into the liquid slits. A sharp steel crack rang out, silver oil fracturing shell, the vine clinging, the monster shrieking, head jerking back, front legs slicing off target through smoke. She dodged back, taking a smoky breath, her eyes tense but focused. Ryder leapt in, his right hand grabbing a steel wing, squeezing silver oil onto his spear tip, igniting it with flame fish oil. Golden fire flared in black smoke, he hurled it at the monster's left eye, silver oil cracked the shell, fire caught, black smoke thickening, it roared, silver liquid surging but dimmed by golden fire, middle legs slashing aimlessly. He retreated, spear aimed, shouting, "Legs, Lena, now." He analyzed, flame fish fire burned shell, smoke blinded, steel wings cracked slits, blood vines bound. Lena charged, her old crude spear thrusting at the front leg joint through black smoke, the tip pierced, steel wing oil smeared earlier shattering more, black blood spurting as it screeched, front leg buckling, blade slashing again, but she dodged, retreating, her left hand clutching her aching shoulder, her eyes blazing. "Hit it," she hissed through gritted teeth, her voice rough, standing firm despite smoke. Mira squeezed flame fish faster, igniting more oil and black thorn spores, golden fire surged, green ice pulse light illuminating the monster, it retreated, red eyes blinking rapidly, heavily irritated. "Fire, it's weak," she whispered, her voice faint but steadfast, tossing steel wings onto the floor, silver oil spread, the monster slipping slightly, silver liquid fading. "Steel wings, crack it." Kalia seized the chance, lunging again, blood vine-wrapped mace dipped in steel wing oil smashing the right eye, a louder crack echoed, the monster thrashed, oil eating deep, vines tightening around its head, right eye dimming, tremors fading. "Eye again," she shouted softly, retreating, her gaze on its still legs. Ryder leapt in, his new spear stabbing deep into the cracked left eye, the tip plunged through, fire from flame fish oil and steel wings flaring, black blood gushing as it thrashed, then stilled, red eyes dimming in black smoke and golden light. "Gee!" He stood frozen, breathing hard, his gaze sweeping the group, all safe, but drained. "Done," he said, his voice low, scribbling fast in his notebook. "Monster down, flame fish fire plus smoke hit eyes, steel wings broke, trial passed." The Seraphim device buzzed hard, its red light flashing fast, and the cold, deep voice crackled through, "Rider, steel shadow is living data. Living pulse beats dead steel, the next trial lies deeper." The voice cut off, but Rolling Stone echoed again from the crack, stronger, like a new threat. Ryder frowned, his chest tightening at the human tone. The Seraphim used steel monsters to test adaptation, and they weren't done. He turned to the group, his voice taut, "They want deeper, rest, keep fire, stay ready." Lena dropped to one knee, hand on her shoulder, her eyes flashing with fatigue but defiance. "Flame fish fire, one," she echoed, her voice low, squeezing ice pulse roots to light more, her gaze piercing the crack ahead. Torin held Mira, his voice trembling, "Deeper still?" Mira looked up, her weary eyes sharp, squeezing flame fish and ice pulse roots, golden light flaring. "Fire and steel wings, we did it," she whispered, her voice faint but determined. Kalia stood by the monster's corpse, her heavy mace lowered, her gaze on the crack. "Stone rolling, again," she said, her voice soft, gathering more flame fish and steel wings, ready when needed. Ryder eyed the golden flame fish fire and green ice pulse glow, then the group. They'd won with living pulse, but the gas forge kept testing. "Deeper," he said, his voice low, leading them through smoke, the cold stone cave awaitin'. Chap 80, ice pulse and silver gleam. Ryder knelt in the cold stone cave beneath the gas forge, his right hand setting the new spear on the rugged stone floor, his eyes scanning the colossal steel monster's corpse from Chap 79, over 13 meters tall, 6 blade-like legs collapsed, gray steel shell glinting silver now still, black blood dried on rock, silver liquid from its head pooling faintly, red eyes extinguished. Golden fire from flame fish oil flickered weakly, golden light weaving with the deep green of ice pulse roots, illuminating the cave. Black smoke from black thorn spores faded, leaving the sweet tang of blood vines wrapped around their arms, fishy flame fish oil, frigid ice pulse roots, and cool vapor from frost twigs near their chests. A new sound arose, a soft gurgle, like water trickling through stone, emanating from the deep stone crack, where the monster's silver liquid once leaked. Near the crack, a new plant emerged, silver frost grass, low growth on cold stone, thin silver gleaming leaves trembling when touched, emitting faint white light, a cold metallic iced scent rising. Flame fish swam slowly in the nearby blood glow stream, frost beetles scattered across the floor, steel wings hovered near the crack, white spiders wove thin webs among silver frost grass. Stone shards fell lightly from the ceiling, rolling echoes from the crack grew clearer post-battle, like the gas forge's pulse awakening. Lena sat beside him, her left hand tightening the blood vine around her shoulder, her weary but sharp eyes watching, her right hand resting her old crude spear, breathing slowly. Torin sat by the wall, supporting Mira, the young girl inhaling deeply, her pale face showing curiosity at the silver frost grass, her hand holding ice pulse roots to light more. Kalia knelt near the corpse, her heavy mace set down, her gaze fixed on the silver frost grass and blood glow stream, her left hand picking a grass scrap, checking its white glow. The deep cave beneath the gas forge was a chilling ecosystem, silver frost grass, ice pulse roots, flame fish, frost beetles, blood vines, frost twigs offering survival, if harnessed right. He pulled the Seraphim device from his bag, its red light blinking steadily on the cold metal surface, the small screen flashing a curt message, "Archive, Ryder, silver gleam is data. Harness ice pulse to live, or sink in cold stone," the trial demands understanding. The words rang in his mind, icy and clear, suggesting this deep cave, with silver frost grass and blood glow stream, was a fresh test, forcing them to exploit the environment to persist. He opened his notebook, his fingers brushing the damp pages, writing slowly, Day 65 North, below Gas Forge. Archive Phase 4, Deep Cave, Silver Frost Grass, Silver Gleam. He paused, his dark brown eyes narrowing in the white glow, listening to the gurgle, like water threading stone, mixed with rolling stone and faint silver frost grass light when touched. Silver gleam is data, he whispered, his low, hoarse voice blending with the water. They want us to live from this ice pulse. He inhaled the biting air deeply, analyzing. Silver frost grass lit and chilled, the blood glow stream might be usable, flame fish burned, ice pulse roots armed, blood vines warmed, frost twigs cooled, a complete ecosystem in the gas forge. Lena turned to him, her left hand touching silver frost grass near the blood glow stream, soft, cold, white light flaring under her fingers, a metallic ice scent rising. "You hear that?" she asked, her voice rough, standing slowly, her spear aimed at the crack where gurgling came from. "This water, usable? This grass, how bright?" She took a frigid breath, frowning as the grass's chill stung her nose, her gaze sweeping the grass and stream, seeking survival signs. Ryder nodded, crouching by the silver frost grass, his right hand setting the spear down, his left picking a scrap, soft, cold, white light faint when squeezed, water dripping from it, no toxic scent. "Silver frost grass, chills, lights up," he said, his voice low but firm, grabbing a flame fish from the blood glow stream, golden oil oozed when squeezed, he dipped grass in oil, struck two metal bits, sparks flew, oil burned gold, white light from grass intensified, like a chemical boost. "Water, usable, grass boosts light." He scribbled fast in his notebook, silver frost grass light plus chill, flame fish react, water plus guide. He turned to the group, his voice clear, deep cave gives us, silver frost grass to light and chill, flame fish to burn, ice pulse roots to strike, blood vines to warm, frost twigs to cool. Rest, take water, hear the rolling. Torin sat Mira down, his cloudy eyes flickering with surprise as he sensed white light from nearby silver frost grass. "This grass glows?" he asked, his voice slow, his arm tight around Mira, as if wanting her to test more. Mira took a frigid breath, the cold air sharpening her, her eyes brightening as she touched the silver frost grass, soft, cold, white light flared, water dripped when squeezed. "Grass, like an ice lamp," she whispered, her voice faint but keen, picking a flame fish, dipping its golden oil in grass, white light flared brighter, outshining ice pulse roots. "Oil, makes it glow more." Kalia stood, her heavy mace aside, her gaze sweeping the crack, silver frost grass grew thick near the blood glow stream, steel wings hovered nearby, flame fish swam slowly. "Grass, unlike roots," she said, her voice soft but sharp, crouching to pick a silver frost grass scrap, squeezing, water dripped, white light flashed. "Water, clean?" She frowned, turning to Ryder, her eyes curious but trusting, gathering more grass and flame fish, ready to test water. Ryder nodded, taking Kalia's grass, squeezing hard, water dripped more, he placed a frost twig near, water cooled further when touched, then dipped grass in flame fish oil, golden fire flared, white light still glowed, grass unburned. "Water's clean, grass chills, light's long," he said, his voice low, analyzing fast, silver frost grass supplied water and light, flame fish fueled fire, ice pulse roots armed, blood vines warmed, frost twigs cooled, enough to rest and prepare. "Take water, use grass to guide, live from this." He wrote slowly in his notebook, silver frost grass water plus light, flame fish boost, root strike, deep cave survival. He turned to the group, his voice taut, ice pulse is strength, use grass, burn fire, be ready to move. Rollings closer. The Seraphim device buzzed hard, its red light flashing faster, and the cold, deep voice crackled through, Rider, silver gleam is new data. Ice pulse gives life, cold stone takes it, trial doesn't stop. The voice cut off, but the gurgling from the crack sharpened, joined by louder rolling stone, like something approaching from the gas forge's deep cave. Rider froze, his eyes widening, his chest tightening at the human tone. The Seraphim used this ecosystem to test understanding, forcing them to live by ice pulse. He wrote quickly, his hands shaky, human voice, silver frost grass plus water, roll plus gurgle, new trial. He turned to the group, his voice firm, deep cave pushes us, use grass, take water, be ready to fight. Rest, then go. Lena grabbed silver frost grass, squeezing water into her hand, cool, her eyes flashing with resolve, wrapping more blood vine around her shoulder to warm. Water, enough to rest, she said, her voice low, inhaling silver frost chill, her gaze fierce despite fatigue, ready to press on. Torin sat Mira near silver frost grass, his voice trembling, ice pulse, real? Mira looked up, her weary eyes sharp, picking silver frost grass and flame fish, squeezing water, white light shone clearer. Grass, guides us, she whispered, her voice faint but steadfast, sharing grass with the group. Kalia squeezed silver frost grass, collecting water in her hand, white light flaring, she wrapped webbing around her mace, preparing. Rolling, near, she said, her voice soft, gripping her mace, her gaze on the crack, poised for the monster. Rider wrapped blood vines around his arm, squeezed silver frost grass for water, white and golden flame fish fire lighting the cave, the gurgle blended with rolling stone, a shadow loomed, slow but heavy. Prepare, he said, his voice low, the group closing ranks, ice pulse and silver gleam their strength against the gas forge.